Samuel, stop! I can't do it!
This is a story from Secret African Folktales. Mavuno was a bright and cheerful village full of life and laughter. The people there lived like one big family, always helping each other. Children played in the dusty streets, while parents chatted and laughed in their homes. Among them were two close families, Mama Joy and her daughter Amina, and Mr. John with his son Samuel. Mama Joy was a kind and cheerful woman who sold fresh fruits in the market. She always had a big smile on her face, but was strict about Amina's studies. Mr. John, their neighbor, was a hard-working farmer with a deep, friendly laugh. His strong arms carried heavy sacks of maize from his farm to the village square every day. Amina and Samuel were best friends. They spent almost every moment together, fetching water from the village well, climbing mango trees, and playing hide and seek near the river. Despite all their fun, there was one thing they both wished for: a smartphone. One evening, as they sat on the front steps of Amina's house, Samuel said, "My cousin in the city has one. He plays games and watches cool videos." Amina's eyes lit up with excitement. "That sounds amazing. I wish we had a phone too. We could watch fun stuff together." But their parents thought differently. Mama Joy shook her head firmly. "Amina, phones are a big distraction. You need to focus on school." Mr. John agreed. "Samuel, a phone is not a toy. You're too young for one." Even though their parents had said no, Amina and Samuel still dreamed about it. "If we had a phone, we could learn so many things and watch funny videos whenever we wanted," Amina sighed. "Maybe one day," Samuel said hopefully. What they didn't know was that a big surprise was waiting for them, one that would change their lives forever. One sunny afternoon, as the village was bustling with life, Mr. John's brother, Uncle David, came to visit from the city. He was a kind man, always full of stories about the busy streets and tall buildings in the city. After they shared a warm meal of rice and stew, Uncle David turned to Samuel with a big smile. "Here, Samuel," he said, handing him a shiny black smartphone. "This is for being such a smart and hard-working boy." Samuel's eyes grew wide with surprise. What is this?" he asked, his voice full of wonder. "It's a smartphone," Uncle David explained, chuckling. "I thought you'd enjoy it. It's a gift for you." Samuel couldn't believe it. He felt like the luckiest boy in the world. He thanked his uncle over and over again before running straight to Amina. Look what I got!" Samuel shouted, holding the phone up high. "A smartphone, our very own treasure." Amina's face lit up with excitement. "Wow, let's see what it can do," she said, her eyes sparkling like stars. The two of them sat down on the cool stone steps outside their homes, eager to explore the phone. Samuel's hands trembled as he touched the sleek screen. The phone buzzed to life, revealing a world he had only dreamed of. "Look at this, Amina. Games, videos, we have the whole world in our hands." Without wasting any time, they dived into the phone's world. They played games, laughing at funny characters on the screen. The phone became their new favorite thing in the world. The two of them spent the whole afternoon exploring. They forgot about everything else. The phone was their new adventure. From that day on, whenever their parents were busy with work or errands, Amina and Samuel would sneak away to play games or watch more funny videos on the phone. They would sit in the corner of the yard, hidden from view, their eyes glued to the screen. The phone quickly became something they couldn't imagine life without. They had so much fun together, but little did they know, it was about to lead them down a path that would change everything. One warm afternoon, after finishing their chores, Samuel and Amina sat in Samuel's room. Samuel was fiddling with the smartphone, scrolling through different apps. Something caught his eye. An unfamiliar app with a strange, colorful icon. It looked different from everything else on the phone. "What's this?" Samuel muttered to himself, tapping the app curiously. Amina, who had been watching him, leaned in closer. "What is it? What's inside?" she asked, her voice full of curiosity. Samuel hesitated for a second, unsure whether they should open it, but his curiosity got the better of him. "Let's see," he said. He tapped the app, and the screen lit up with colorful images and videos. It started with silly pranks, then came challenges. Kids trying dangerous stunts. One day, Samuel saw a video titled "Secret Stuff for Adults." His finger hesitated over the screen, but his curiosity won. He clicked. The screen showed adults in situations they didn't understand. The behavior in the videos was confusing and uncomfortable. Amina's eyes grew wide with confusion. "Why are they doing that?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. Samuel stared at the screen, his heart racing. I don't know," he replied, his voice shaky. "I think it's for adults. I've heard the older boys talk about things like this at school." Amina shifted uncomfortably. "Should we be watching this?" she asked nervously. Samuel paused, biting his lip. "I don't know. It's just a video. We're not doing anything wrong," he said, trying to sound more confident than he felt. But deep down, both of them knew something didn't feel right. They felt uneasy, like they had crossed a line they didn't understand. They quickly closed the app, but the images from the videos lingered in their minds. As the days went by, their curiosity grew. They couldn't stop thinking about what they had seen. The phone was right there, always within reach. Over the next few days, whenever they were alone, they would sneak away to watch more of the forbidden videos. They locked the door behind them, making sure no one could walk in on them. Their obsession with the phone grew stronger with each passing day. Samuel's hands shook as he lied to his father, something he never used to do. Amina, once the top student in class, barely paid attention anymore. The phone's glowing screen had become their new world. Then, one afternoon, as they sat together again, Amina nervously spoke up. "Samuel, what if we try doing what we saw in those videos? Maybe we'll understand it better." Samuel's eyes widened, and his heart skipped a beat. "What? No way, that's for adults," he exclaimed. His mind raced, unsure how to respond. He was shocked that Amina would suggest something like that. "But why not?" Amina pressed, her voice filled with uncertainty and curiosity. "We can try it just once, and then we'll know if it's really wrong. Maybe it'll help us understand what we saw." After a long silence, he reluctantly agreed, though deep inside, he knew it was a bad decision. They decided to try. The first attempt left them both shaken. Amina winced in pain almost immediately. "Stop, please, Samuel!" she cried, her face contorted with discomfort. She rushed out of the room, tears streaming down her cheeks. Samuel stood there, frozen, his heart sinking with guilt and regret. For days after, the weight of what had happened hung over them. They avoided each other, the shame heavy in their hearts. Their once strong bond was now fractured. They couldn't speak of what had happened, and they both felt lost in their own worlds. Weeks, the phone sat untouched in the corner of the room, but its presence haunted them both. Until one day, a few days later, Samuel worked up the courage to apologize. He knocked softly on Amina's door. "Amina, can I talk to you?" There was silence for a moment before Amina opened the door slightly, her face cautious but calm. "What is it, Samuel?" she asked, her voice low. "I'm sorry," Samuel said earnestly. "I should have said no. I didn't mean to hurt you." Amina stared at him for a moment before her expression softened. "I was wrong too," she admitted. "I shouldn't have pushed you into it. Let's forget about it." Their friendship slowly mended as they began to talk again. They started doing chores together, like before, and life seemed to return to normal. However, one sunny afternoon, Samuel surprised Amina. "Amina, I was thinking, the videos we saw?" Amina's face turned serious. "What about them?" "I think we could try again," Samuel said hesitantly, his voice barely above a whisper. "Last time wasn't good, but I've been thinking maybe we just didn't do it right." Amina frowned. "Are you sure?" "It hurt last time." "This time, we'll be careful," Samuel assured her. "I'll make sure it's different." After some hesitation, Amina agreed. They tried again, following what they remembered from the videos. This time, they were more cautious, but it didn't make much of a difference. Amina still felt uncomfortable and stopped Samuel quickly. "No, Samuel, this isn't right," she said firmly, shaking her head. Samuel sighed heavily, realizing she was right. "Maybe we shouldn't try this anymore," he admitted, his voice filled with regret. Amina nodded, her face serious but calm. "I think so too. This isn't for us. Let's stop watching those videos altogether." Days passed, and Samuel and Amina could no longer ignore the weight of what had happened. The once close friendship between them felt distant. The phone that had once brought them so much joy now sat forgotten, gathering dust. Every time Samuel looked at it, he felt a pang of guilt. Every time Amina passed by, she couldn't help but feel the emptiness between them. They both knew deep down that something had changed, and no matter how much they wished it away, their friendship was no longer the same. One afternoon, Mr. John was cleaning the living room when he noticed Samuel's phone lying on the table. It wasn't like him to leave it out in the open. Hesitant, but driven by a strange feeling, Mr. John picked it up. As he scrolled through, his heart stopped. There, on the screen, was the secret app, the same one that had caused so much trouble. Shocked and disturbed, Mr. John felt his anger build as he saw the videos Samuel and Amina had been watching. His hands trembled as he clicked through the app, unable to believe what he was seeing. "So this is what my son and Amina have been up to," he whispered to himself, his heart sinking with disbelief. His mind raced with 1,000 thoughts: anger, disappointment, confusion. What had happened to the innocent children he once knew? Without wasting another moment, he rushed to find Samuel. His voice thundered through the house. "Samuel, come here now!" Samuel's stomach dropped as he heard his father's voice, stern and filled with concern. "Dad, what's wrong?" Samuel asked, his voice shaking with a mix of fear and guilt. Mr. John, trying to control his emotions, showed him the phone. "What is this, Samuel? What have you been doing with this phone? Why are you and Amina watching these videos?" His voice trembled with disbelief. Samuel's heart raced, his throat tightening. "Dad, I didn't mean for it to happen. Amina and we were just curious. We didn't know it would lead to this." His voice cracked, regret filling every word. Mr. John's face turned pale, the weight of the situation sinking in. "This is serious, Samuel. You've crossed a line. I trusted you, and now I have to speak to Mama Joy. She needs to know." Mr. John immediately called Mama Joy. The phone call was short but full of urgency. He explained everything to her, and the shock was clear in her voice as she processed the painful truth. Together, they went to Amina's house, their steps heavy with the knowledge of what they had to do. When Amina saw them standing at the door, she knew something was wrong. Her stomach twisted with anxiety. "Mama Joy, what's wrong?" Amina asked, her voice trembling, her heart beating faster. Mama Joy took a deep breath, her face etched with worry. "Come, Amina," she said softly, guiding her into the house. "We need to talk." Inside, Mama Joy sat Amina down. Her eyes were filled with both love and concern. "Amina, I know about the videos you and Samuel were watching. This is very serious. What you did was wrong, and it could have serious consequences." Tears welled up in Amina's eyes. She felt so small and ashamed. She had never wanted to hurt anyone, but now it felt like the weight of the world was on her shoulders. "I'm sorry, Mama. I didn't mean to hurt anyone. I didn't know it would be like this," she said, her voice barely a whisper. Meanwhile, Samuel's father, still processing his own anger, turned to Samuel. "Samuel, I'm so disappointed in you. You've hurt your family and you've hurt Amina. I know you didn't mean for any of this to happen, but that doesn't change the fact that it did." His voice cracked with emotion as he spoke. "You need to understand what you saw wasn't meant for you, and you need to think carefully before making decisions like this again." Samuel's face burned with shame and his heart ached. "I'm sorry, Dad. I didn't know it would go this far. I just wanted to understand, but I was wrong." The parents made a difficult decision. The children's phones would be taken away, no exceptions. The device that had once felt like a magical key to the world was now a symbol of their mistake. With heavy hearts, they knew this was the only way to teach their children a lesson. The phone was gone, and so was the guilt that followed it. Slowly, over time, their friendship began to heal. Samuel and Amina spent more time outside, playing games, talking, and rediscovering the joy of simple things. The laughter returned, and so did the trust. They promised each other that nothing would ever come between them again.